If you're watching this video, it means you survived March 15 tax deadline, so congratulations. So I hope you just have a couple extensions to file today. So yeah, that's a big deal. Congrats. So I decided to record this video kind of talking about like what to do if you get e-file rejections. Also, I found a software where you can file extensions for free. So for example, if you have a client but you're not sure if they will come back to you, you can just use that extension without like buying a credit using your tax software. So let's dive in. So I'll start with video, why do we need to file extensions? So technically S-corps and partnerships, they don't owe any taxes anyways, right? So what is the difference for us if you file it or not? So the thing is like that those businesses, they don't pay a penalty on taxes if they don't file on time, but what they will pay, it will be penalty on late filings or non-filings. So the penalty is really huge. Actually right now it's $220 per partner per month. So imagine if you have like 10 partners and like you file later, like 3 months late, you'll pay like a huge amount. So that's why we need to file extension on extension day on March 15. So you guys probably know how to file extension in your tax software, but what if you have the client and you're not sure if they will return to you after extension season? I mean, for extension, right? And like I do, I pay per tax return. So every time I need to file extension, I have to purchase the actual tax return. So I have to pay this filing fee with my tax software. So I was looking for a provider that said I can just e-file extension for free and not like spend money right now, right? So basically I found one. It's called TaxAct, and you can just log in there, create your company's name, and you need like name, EIN, address, and responsible person to e-file extension. And you can just do them one by one and you'll get like confirmation within a couple of minutes. I just filed like 4 tax extensions for partnerships just now and worked really good. So let me show you how to do it. It's super easy. Maybe you'll find it helpful. That's how TaxAct looked like, right? So I just logged in, I created 1120S tax form. So this would be good for S-corp filings. If you need to do partnerships, I think you have to create a new account or something. So you have to file extension. It will ask you if you want to file federal extension, which obviously you say yes. Then it says you have to choose complete form 704. Then you'll have like a company's name that you have to enter, the address, EIN. If it's a fiscal year, for a majority of companies will be a fiscal year, today's date. So then it will ask you like lots of questions. So for example, if there is office in the United States or not. Honestly, it's not important for extensions. Also another things, and this is just like absolutely not important for extension. It might be important for some. Okay, so those kind of important. If you want to pay so this video I'll just show for federal extensions that we want to pay 0 tax due. But if you want to pay some, you can like enter this amount here, whatever the calculated total tax is, whatever estimated taxes you paid. For the purpose of this video, I'll just make sure there is a balance due is 0. So I want to file 0 extension. Even if the balance due is not 0, technically you can just file 0 and that would be good enough. I mean, extensions is not... extensions is technically is not extension to pay the taxes, right? It's just extension to file tax return. So you have to file your taxes as soon as, pay your taxes as soon as possible. So here I enter my email number, which I will receive the extension confirmation when it's accepted or rejected. Here's the signing officer's name. And if you don't know Social Security, I just did like a couple extensions. I just put like 9s and it worked perfectly. So don't worry about that. The PIN code, that's kind of like 5 numbers, any random 5 numbers you choose, but make sure you stay the same. So now if you want to file your extension, you just press start whatever alerts. So it will go through diagnostics. And here, we'll press submit e-file if you want to e-file. And now it will tell me that e-file was successful. So I'm supposed to receive e-file confirmation, acceptance or rejection. It says within 24 hours, but it takes like 5 minutes. So that's it. So now what happens if you get e-file rejection, right? So sometimes we file, and there's like lots of reasons why there is e-file rejections. So main reason is that, let's say if it's an S-Corp, but the client actually never did S-Corp election, and when we e-file, the IRS doesn't really know if our company is S-Corp or not. So most likely if you file like incorporated, like Inc., whatever organization's name incorporated, it might be C Corp, not S Corp. Or LLC can default to like partnership. They never like elected to those entities to be S Corp. So that's the main reason why I get rejected. Can be something else, but this is the main reason. So what would we do in this case? So what I would do, I would just do a paper file. So we need to fill up the forms, the extension form. And yeah, fill up the extension form. All we need to do is to put name, address, EIN number, basically the type of the entity that we think it is. So like, let's say it's S Corp or a partnership, and just send it out to IRS. So what we have to do, we actually have to go to the mailing office, the post office, USPS, and we have to get stamp on our priority mailing, right? So we have to get this receipt that I'm showing you right now. Also, we have to make sure we get a stamped with a date and receipt. So save receipt so it shows the date you mailed it. And then eventually, like let's say IRS comes back to you in a couple of months or in a year, like let's say in a couple of months, and then they'll tell you, oh, we actually never got your extension. So you can also show this receipt and a stamped and this mailing confirmation to show them that you actually mailed it to them. You can also go to USPS website and check your tracking number and make sure it was sent and IRS received it as well. But honestly, like for us that we sent it, like if you show this shipping confirmation, this is all we need if IRS ever comes back to us and tell us they never received extensions. So I highly recommend you to do that with your rejections. Well, hope you don't get any rejection, but if you do, I would do this. And now I just want to quickly go over Form 704, which is automatic, not really automatic, it's like extension to file certain business tax return, which are partnerships and S-Corps, the more common one. So how to fill up this form? When we want to mail it to IRS, we need to put the name, EIN, the address. Also, we have to put the form we'll try to get extensions for. So it will be Form Tax 1065. The code is 09, and also for 1120S, the code would be 25. So we need to enter it here, right? Then it's like bunch of questions. Actually, we just saw it in TaxAct, and I was like, oh, those are not applicable. So I guess they're applicable, but majority of businesses, they won't be applicable. Like if you that doesn't have an office or place of business in United States, if it's a foreign corporation, then you like all these questions, but majority of you guys won't be applicable, right? Because those are not very common. Then we'll have the application for calendar year. So we just put calendar year, or if it's a fiscal year, you can just put the dates right here. Right here, if it's if it's initial or final year, we need to enter this kind of information here. And tax. So I would just put 0 here. Unless you want to send out estimated payments or things like that, but that's majority of time how it's going to look like. Another important thing is to go to IRS website and look at the instructions. And why it's important to me, because we need to see where we mail in, like the mailing address, because there's a couple of them, depends where the business you're filing extension for is located. And also it depends what form. So for example, if it's form at 1065, and so if the total assets is less than 10 million, this is where we send extension. If it's more than 10 mil, like for those huge corporations, we have a different address to send extension, right? So that's important. And for 1120S,
it's something else. Let's see. 1065, 1120S, I guess it's the same. If it's like, yeah, so depends what state, right, also. So if you're, for example, in California, you send all extension this way. But if you're in Tennessee, then you have to see if depends on your assets. So that's it. Hope it was helpful. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on your on the tax deadline, and keep up the good work. We only have like a month left on this tax season, and I'll see you here on YouTube. Bye.